right, so what we want to do next is we want to pull this back so we can clean up this area here before we rebuild our surface, which we'll do next. So I'm going to go to my corridor, and in my corridor I'm going to go to the main road, and we're going to add in a instruction in this spot right here. So I'm going to add in insert a corridor template. My station is going to be right here. We'll just back this off a little bit right to that point. We're going to copy, and we'll just call this tie end. All right, we'll just call it tie end is good enough. We're going to copy our full typical. We're going to insert that, and then we're just going to remove this surface tie over here. So come in, and what we want to do is we want to get rid of this surface tie, which is tying in right here. So that segment we want to get rid of. We'll keep the rest of this. I'm just going to delete that one instruction, which is right there. So it should stop at the top back of bench and still have this area in here as our top back of bench, which is fine. All right, so we'll close that. So now you can see we've got this, and what we can do next is come in here to this line and we will break it. So let's go to break line, and we'll break it at this spot here. We'll delete that segment. I'm going to take this and go to edit it, but before I edit it, let's put it on the right layer. So let's go to properties, and we'll set this on, instead of working, we're going to actually set it on the same layer as this. So you can see I'm just going to select the layer over here in properties. I'm going to click that, it sets that layer, and then I can come in here and edit this line. Okay, so I move the start point from here back over to there. So we're just tying that piece in to that. All right, next we'll pick this line string down here, and with this line string down here, what we'll do is we'll do the same thing. We'll break the line, let's say at this point here, delete that other piece, we'll pick this, and we will edit that line, and we will move that over to there. All right, so we're just tying in and back in here. We can leave this line, so let's just go ahead and take this, we will break it at this spot right there. We'll delete that. Same thing here, we'll take this, break it there, delete that, pick this, delete that. So now we're just tying in that piece, those pieces there. All right. So let's see what this looks like by simply going to right click and rebuild the surface. So now you can see that we're tying in to our rock all the way down through here and into our original ground. Well, again, we're going to come back and clean that up in a bit, but I've got it tied in. Now I want to do a little bit more adjustment because you can see we're not quite projected through there. So again, you can do this however you want it to look. We're just going to call this wall. I'll select OK, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick a point here, and we will send that down to a spot here, and then I'll just come back up just to get this spot here. And then if we close this, rebuild, it's going to adjust that area in there for us and give us a nice little turn or transition around that rock wall there. All right. So we're looking pretty good. We're getting there. We got a little bit more on the end down here to do, and we should have most of our finished surface built. The next step after this chapter will be to clean this up in here. Now to do this over here, we're sloping down. We just need to add that one more piece at the end here. We're good there. Again, that's just where it ties in. We're gonna probably be acceptable with that. Let's just surface tie this back out. So we'll go to surface tie here. I'll go to, we'll just call it north tie, lack of a better term. This time we're going to actually put it on the design layer. All right, so we'll put on our design break line layer. We're gonna go this way. We'll set our 10. We'll do a 2 and a 2 and apply. Well, we actually messed up because we picked the wrong surface. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pick the line again. We want to go to our original ground and keep all that the way it is and apply. We'll close this and let's get rid of that one. Okay. So now you can see we're tying into the original ground here. So if I rebuild the surface, we may have a little cleanup there, but I could come in with some other, got a high spot there. So we'll actually, let's just go ahead and break this at this point. And we'll have to redo that. So let's get rid of this, which is that high spot. And let's just repeat the surface tie. So sometimes you got to do it twice. Again, we'll go north tie, which is pretty easy to do. You just got to remember, you know, and sometimes it's trial and error. We'll pick this line here. We'll do our 10, our 2, our 2, apply. We did the wrong way. I could redo and undo. Again, I'm getting too quick with it. But if you just right click and go to properties, you can change the properties of this. So instead of direction to the right, let's go left, and now we got it tied back to where we want. So then we can go ahead and rebuild that surface and see if that gives us the results we're looking for, which is a little bit better. Got a little bit of a swale coming down, which is fine. We're draining down into here. We're draining down into the natural ground. We'll delete these triangles here when we clean up the boundary. But for the most part, that's the outer limits, and we will next want to come in and work in this area. In the next chapter, we're actually going to do the pond. All right, so again, the workflow, kind of building your way through. Hopefully these tools are showing you some neat tips and tricks along the way. Again, you could do this wall with a cord or two if you wanted to. Sometimes it's easier to use just the line strings, and you're going to see a little bit more of this practice down here with the pond as well.